6:30. A couple things before we get started. One is I want to let everybody know that there's only 3 members here. That means you have to have 3 votes. You have to have 3 votes to have a positive. It's not going to be 2. Okay, by our bylaws, we have to have 3 positive votes or 3 votes to have a position passed. Okay, so you can't, I just want to put that out there right now. Number 2 is there's been requested that we change the agenda a little bit and have application 105, which is for Spring Street to go first. And then we can do 97 for Bath, the corner of Bath, second, if that's fine with both parties. Okay, okay, we'll go that route. Okay, I guess we can get started then. It is 6:30. Okay, I'm calling this meeting of the Historical Preservation Board to order. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Sprecher.
Here.
Ms. Hallett. Here. Ms. Kaplan.
Here.
Okay, before we start, if there's any public comments, you can come up now. Again, when we have each petition, the public will have a chance to talk then also. Okay, so this is just kind of for a general. So do I have anybody that wants to say anything? Hearing none, we can continue. Okay, we got to do some paperwork first, approve a couple minutes. So we need to do approval for the minutes for April 3rd, 2014.
I make a motion.
Okay, okay, make a motion?
Okay, to approve the minutes
Okay.
as presented. I'll second it.
Okay, you second it, Rita? Okay. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Kaplan.
Yes.
Ms. Hallett. Mr. Sprecher.
Yes. Okay, number 2 is May 1st. The minutes for May 1st.
I make a motion to approve May 1st minutes as presented. Make a second.
Okay, discussions? Nope, they were pretty good, actually. Okay, can we have a roll call vote on that one?
Ms. Kaplan.
Yes.
Ms. Hallett.
Yes.
Mr. Sprecher.
Yes. Okay, Attorney, can you discuss?
Yes,
Quasi-judicial.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. The matters before the City of Tarpon Springs Heritage Preservation Board are quasi-judicial in nature. In a quasi-judicial proceeding, the board's function is to make findings of fact based upon the evidence presented at the hearing and apply those findings of fact to previously established criteria contained in the City of Tarpon Springs Code of Ordinances. This is a legal decision regarding the application before the board. The board may only consider evidence that the law considers competent, substantial, and relevant to the issues arising from the application of the applicable code sections. If the evidence demonstrates that the application meets the criteria contained in the Code of Ordinances, then the board is required by law to grant the applicant's request. If the evidence demonstrates that the application does not meet the code criteria, then the board is required to deny the applicant's request. Any and all persons providing testimony at this hearing are required to do so under oath. All persons testifying must give their name, address, and must indicate whether or not they have been sworn for the record prior to proceeding with their testimony. All testimony and questioning at this hearing must address matters that are relevant and material to the application pending before the city's Heritage Preservation Board. Any board members who have disclosures such as ex parte communications or conflicts of interest, please make your disclosures at the beginning of the hearing. The following is the established procedure which will be followed at this quasi-judicial hearing. First, city staff will present its testimony and evidence regarding the application. Then the applicant will have the opportunity to ask questions and cross-examine city staff and any city witnesses. Then the applicant will have the opportunity to present their witnesses and evidence. The city will have the opportunity to cross-examine the applicant and any of the applicant's witnesses. Then members of the public opposing and in support of the application will be given the opportunity to provide testimony and evidence. The applicant may present any rebuttal testimony and evidence in a closing statement for summary, and the city may do the same, and then the board will close the public hearing for consideration by the board. At this time, anybody who's going to speak tonight, please stand to receive the oath. Please raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell the truth on the matters before the City of Tarpon Springs Heritage Preservation Board here this evening? Okay. Make sure that when you come up, you state your name, your address, and indicate that you've been sworn for the record. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna start off with the first one. This is application 23-105. This is on 150 North Spring Street. It's an enclosed porch that's being renovated. Staff?
Before I start with this application, Chair, if I could be recognized, I would like to point out, because we do only have the quorum of 3, that if an applicant would like to defer their application for hearing by the full board, they can do so.
That's what I should have said.
Okay.
If you want to defer, rather than going through a vote where all 3 of us have to say yes, you can until next month. Okay,
Seeing
it's
none.
been done. I've done it before. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So this is application 23-105, located at 150 North Spring Boulevard. You can see it here. It's located within the National Register District. And this is the Florida Master Site File picture of the house. It's a circa 1888 two-story residence that was built by the City of Tarpon Springs' first mayor. It has an asymmetrical facade with irregular massing and steep pitched cross gable roof. One-story hipped roof, porch wrapping the front and sides that's supported by turned posts. And here's the location on the 1919 Sanborn. And the request is to renovate a previously closed porch at the contributing structure at the subject property. This is a survey of the subject property. And, this shows the location of the windows and the proposed windows that would be replacing them. And the proposed floor plan. And here's the area that we are talking about, that enclosed porch you see there on the right. And this is just a closer up view of that, showing that they have the original turned posts from the porch remaining, but all of that other material is non-historic. Here's just another view of the windows that are proposed to be replaced. So our standards of review that are applicable: windows, doors, and entries, neighborhood and district context, size, massing, and shape, adherence to the Secretary's guideline, and conformance with the city code requirements. Because the applicant is proposing to remove non-historic doors, a non-historic door and windows, and replace them with windows that replicate the original historic windows, we feel like it meets that standard for review. It would not be particularly disruptive to the neighborhood district context. It is a very important view shed that it is in, being on Spring Bayou, but the alterations are not significantly adverse. And again, because they are retaining those original posts and not destroying any kind of historic material, we believe that the project generally conforms with the Secretary's guidelines. And the project conforms with other relevant city codes. Here's just some information from the Design Review Guideline Manual. So using a window style that matches the original style is a good thing. And that the siding should match the original siding, and that's proposed. They're going to proposing to match the historic siding in appearance. So staff would recommend approval of the project as presented, with the condition that if a building permit is not obtained within 3 years, they'd need to come back to you. And I can answer any questions.
Okay, any questions? No? Okay, the applicant? You wanna get- Thank you very much.
Dean Theophilopoulos, 150 North Spring Boulevard. I took the oath of honor. And Mr. Chairman, board, neighbors, thank you for allowing me to go first so I can get to the kids' soccer practice. We are just trying to improve our residents. And this porch was enclosed before we bought the house by, God rest his soul, Dr. Clough, who was a physician, and he used to have his office there at the house way back. So he put these aluminum jealousy windows in that do not conform with the rest of the architectural style of the house. There was a door there that where his patients would enter into a waiting room to go into his office. And that does not conform with the rest of the architectural style of the house. So we are proposing to have that enclosed porch match the rest of the house in architectural style with the same materials that are present on the rest of the house. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any questions from the board?
One question, on that door, are you going to put stairs and an entrance into the porch, or?
No, there's just
You're
gonna be
it off.
2 windows that will look like the rest of the house with the siding. So if you look on that, can you bring that first picture of the house up that you had? The black and white one? Oh, yeah, that one. So you see the top windows there? It's gonna look like that over all the way to the right on the bottom there where the door and those jealousy aluminum windows are. It's gonna look like the top there with 2 windows and that siding.
Oh, that'll be lovely. Good.
And the same on the other side.
Okay. Is there any rebuttal? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Yes, I make a motion
Oh.
to,
No, you have
whoa,
to,
whoa.
before, you have to open it for,
Public comment, sorry
yes,
about that.
thank you.
Okay, public comment, anybody here for public comment on this? Pro or con?
thank you for coming anyway.
Hearing none, we'll continue. Closing statements, we already know. Okay, do I hear a motion?
Ready?
Yep,
Okay, I make a motion to accept application 23-105, 150 North Spring Boulevard for the enclosed porch renovation as presented.
second?
I second.
I wanted to clarify, staff was recommending the 3-year building, the expiration in 3 years if a building permit has not been issued for this project. Are you doing it with that condition or no?
Right.
Yes.
right, Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
I second it.
you seconded it already? Okay, any comments or anything? Any discussions?
No.
I think that's gonna look really good. And it's bringing the house back a lot to the original standard. And I liked it with, you told us why that door was there. Because I had a question about that. Okay, do we have a vote?
Ms. Kaplan?
Yes.
Ms. Hallett?
Yes.
Mr. Sprecher?
Yes. Thank you very much, congratulations. Okay, get back on schedule here.
That'll be pretty.
Yeah. Okay, this is for, application number 2397. This is for new construction on the northeast corner of Bath and West Lemon Street. So, staff?
Yes, the subject property is located at Bath and Lemon. You can see it located here. And there it is at the very edge of the National Register District. This just shows kind of the zoning context for it. It is in an R60, but, you know, it's adjacent to the special area plan area. And this, the applicant is seeking approval to construct a new two-story single-family residence, which with a full-width second-story balcony on the south and west elevations, and a partial-width cross-gabled covered deck on the north elevation. This lot has been historically vacant, as you can see here on the 1926 Sanborn map. And it is actually located to the south of the Miles Standish house. Here's what the subject property looks like from the north, facing north, and then to the east. This is some context of what the area looks like on the north side. This is the house next door directly to the east. This is the house across the street to the south. And this is a survey for the subject property. And a site plan for the proposed two-story single-family residence. This is the south elevation, so that would be fronting Lemon Street. This is the west elevation, so that would be fronting Bath Street. This is the east elevation and the north elevation. This is a landscaping plan that they provided. The applicants did come in and do a pre-application meeting, so it has been altered. The site plan has been altered from this point, but I wanted to include their landscaping and preliminary fencing plan so that they could get those approved as well if the board sees fit to approve this application. The standards for review, well, pretty much all of them are relevant because we're talking about a new structure in a historic district. So the height and width, the consistency of the area, of the 6 residential structures in the immediate vicinity of the subject property, 4 are two-story structures of similar scale as the proposed project. The windows, entries, and doors are similar to those. However, staff would request that any approval would be conditioned to require compliance with guideline 58 of the design review guideline manual, requiring that the shutters be made of wood attached to the window casing, not the exterior finish, and full height and half width of the window. And then also that the garage doors utilize carriage-style doors and hardware. With respect to the neighborhood and district context, well, you know, building a new building where historically there has never been one, it will alter the streetscape. However, you know, this two-story single-family structure is consistent with the neighborhood. However, the proposed garage placement with 2 doors on Lemon Street, that's not consistent with contributing structures in the surrounding area. You know, none of the historic homes in the area have 2 garage doors openings, but that's for the board to determine if this inconsistency is significantly adverse enough to require an additional condition or denial. The roof tape and texture is very similar to other contributing structures in the area. They're proposing dimensional fiberglass shingles. I believe 3 or 4 of the immediately adjacent structures have shingle roofs, so that's appropriate. The size and massing and shape. This area of the historic district is very eclectic. There's, you know, very small houses and very large houses. So really just about anything would fit in terms of, you know, size and massing. So the proposed facade, again, fronting Lemon Street is not completely compatible with the historic character due to the dominance of those two garage doors. And the board needs to satisfy themselves that the inconsistency of the facade composition is not significantly different from the neighborhood or, you know, add a condition. And with respect to adherence to the Secretary's guidelines, staff finds that generally the proposed project would be consistent with the historic district. And the HPP really needs to determine whether or not they consider the new construction to be significantly adverse to the historic character or the longevity of the historic district. And I've got some, so, you know, the new construction will not destroy any historic materials, and that's really the only part of the Secretary's guidelines that are applicable. And then I've got several pages of the design review guideline manual in here because there are a lot of things in there about new construction. You know, they're proposing board and batting siding, which is consistent with the area. I feel that of those two houses I showed you, they both were two-story, one park under, very similar to this home. On the landscaping plan, they had proposed some wrought iron fencing. Staff is suggesting if the HPP sees fit to approve this application, that they would condition that approval just with some additional review by staff through the building permitting process to make sure that the fence is consistent with the design review guideline manual. Again, you know, the two garage doors are not really consistent with the historic nature of the surrounding area, but the board needs to make a determination on that. They did, like I said, submit a landscaping plan along with their preliminary site plan. And given the area and the fact that they'll be removing some existing vegetation, staff would recommend conditioning any approval with just having the municipal arborist review and approve their landscaping plans. And then here are all of our universal guidelines for new construction from the design review guideline manual. We've got some additional things about the garage. The scale of the garage should be compatible with the street and alley environment, so there is no alley available here. And then again, the condition related to the shutters, you know, that they be actual functioning wood shutters would be a condition staff would recommend to be consistent with the design review guideline manual. And staff is recommending approval with the following conditions. They do need, I'm sorry. With respect to consistency with other requirements of the code, the balcony fronting Bath Street is not one reading of the code suggests that it would need a variance, and the applicant is seeking a variance just to be sure. So I would add the condition that if the variance is not granted, they would need to review, would need to revise their plans to be consistent with that aspect of the code. Details of fencing to be provided, the shutters, utilizing the carriage-style doors and hardware on the garages, reviewing, having the municipal arborist review the landscaping plan, and then the standard that the certificate of approval would expire in 3 years if a building permit has not been issued. And We did receive one inquiry, but no responses to the application public notice. And with that, I can answer any questions.
Okay, anybody got a question? I've got a couple. Okay, okay. Okay, couple quick questions. Number one, is the two-story mainly because it has to be, because of flooding, right?
Yes,
Okay, so that lower story, no matter what we build there, is essentially gonna be like an open space, okay? Okay, got you covered there. Balcony,
yes.
what kind of variance are you talking about there?
So, the Bath Street balcony, overlaps the setbacks by 3 feet, which is allowed. However, the code states if the width of the balcony is 10 feet or less. And so it's going the entire length of the house, so it's wider than that 10 feet, and that's where they're seeking the variance from.
Okay. Okay, so if that variance is disapproved, then they're gonna have to come back and have that section.
No, they have it in their plans now, so if they get approval from the HPB that says, we're okay with this if you get the variance, then they can go ahead after they
Right,
get the
that's what I-
variance.
But if they don't get the variance,
If they don't get the variance, they would need to revise their plans, and yes, they would need to come back.
okay.
Just one question. How many square feet is this house? It has many windows, and do you have any?
It does, I'm not exactly certain, the applicant might be able to answer that a little bit more easily than I
We
can.
can come up when he comes in.
Okay.
When he comes up. Okay. And one more with the arborist. We generally don't have that.
I felt that because this was a historically vacant lot and they're going to be removing existing vegetation and just the nature of the location of the property that is very prone to flooding, if the arborist could provide any helpful assistance on additional stormwater through their landscaping plan, I thought that would be a good idea.
Salt-resistant plants would be nice. Okay. Okay, anybody else?
Just briefly, your credentials are on file with the city, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're offering the city's file as consideration as evidence for the board in this proceeding, correct?
I am.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, one other thing, I'm sorry. Okay. These are gonna be operational, you're recommending operational shutters, okay? Would they be considered, good for hurricanes?
They
Being
could be.
operational like that,
Yeah, they could be, for sure.
okay? Because normally, if you put a piece of plywood up there, they consider that okay, so these should be good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a plus then. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, they wouldn't have to be of any specific design for that, would they?
No,
Just
just
have
that
the
they
shutters.
actually are functional shutters that cover the windows and are made of wood and not attached to the window casing.
Understand, okay. Look cool. Okay, any more questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Applicant?
Brian Gloss and my wife and I and our family live at 524 Rebstock Boulevard in Palm Harbor, which is just up the street. And we also have lived on Virginia Avenue across from Mears, the ball fields, sister fields. So we've been here for a while and excited to build another house.
Okay. Okay, anybody have that all?
Well, as far as the windows are concerned, our intention is to put hurricane windows in anyway.
Okay,
You know, impact windows, just, there's no reason not to when you build a new home here. And the garage doors, a reason it's structured that way is the entry into the house from the garage is in the middle of the garage downstairs. And because we're getting aged, we're putting an elevator in there.
good idea.
Yeah, so I think those were a couple of the items there. And of course, the landscaping will meet whatever the codes are, make sure that it's acceptable. I kind of just threw a plan together, and that's what's in there, but it's, you know, we'll have something that looks very good.
Okay. Okay, any questions?
Just the square footage of it.
Oh, square
Oh,
foot.
yeah, the square footage, I was looking on my plans, it's not there, it's about 2,200 square feet.
Okay.
Yeah. And just as curiosity for me, more than anything else, is you have on the bottom floor a porch on the northwest corner. Okay, now the upper floor goes over that, am I right?
Correct.
Okay, okay. 'Cause I was having a heck of a time with that. Okay. That's gonna look good. Okay.
Well, we have 15 grandchildren, and so they come over, and that's gonna be like the game room. And
Okay.
I know that feeling.
Okay. Okay, any more? Staff, do you have any rebuttal or anything?
No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I guess so.
Well, hang on one second. Let me get,
So you do it.
okay, public comments? Okay, come on up.
Do I have to state my name and stuff, or
You're gonna have to speak up a little
do I have
louder.
to state my name and stuff?
Yes, you do.
My name is Frankie Gilchrist III. I live at 401 North Walton Avenue, just like right down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say that, you know,
Were you sworn in?
no. I
Okay,
just-
please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth on the matters here before the Heritage Preservation Board for the City of Tarpon Springs this evening?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right. I just want to say that, you know, I don't really like public, or not, well, I don't like empty lots. So I think this is a really great idea to have a house. I think it's a really nice, beautiful house. I'm studying to be a historian and stuff like that, so I love historical architecture and all that fitting in. So I just want to tell these people and you guys that I completely support this, and I don't really see an issue with the 2 garage door thing. I think it's all fine, and you know, I think it's lovely that, you know, y'all are building a house for that'll, you know, support your big family and stuff like that. And I just think it's a great addition to the community. Just want to say that.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, closing public comments? Thank you. Any closing comments? Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept application 2397 on the northeast corner of Bath and Lemon Streets, the new home with the conditions that were presented by the
Okay, let's go through the conditions one at a time.
no?
No.
Go through them? You
Yeah.
want to go through them?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
okay. Okay,
sure.
okay.
I gotta get a copy of it.
Okay, first one, the one is I go along with all of them. And the garage doors, I know there's a question with that. But there's a house right across the street that has no garage doors, similar type house, 2nd stories. And it doesn't look that quite right. I think the garage doors make an improvement on this, you know, on this, the way it looks from the street. I know it's not quite historical, but it's not historical because it can't be designed historically, because you have to have a lower floor. So I think that may look like a cottage or a carriage door with that type of, it would enhance it. It would be less sterile, I think, would be, give it a little bit more character. It would go in better with it. Like that one right there?
Yeah,
See
that's
what I'm saying? The garage doors are in the back, and if you look at it from the front, they have a couple windows there, and it's just, I think it needs to be broken up a little bit. I think those garage doors do help it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There aren't garage doors on on Lemon Street, are they? Facing,
No?
can they be changed?
What do you mean?
Can they be?
No, what I'm saying is, yeah, they can.
Can.
You can't require them to change it, but what I'm saying is that first floor without those garage doors looks sterile because it's just gonna be a wall, maybe a couple windows.
Oh,
So I think the garage doors need to be there.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying. Okay? Okay, and then, let's see. I think everything else I go along with.
Right, our sheet doesn't have as many.
So we can go, Kathy?
Oh, okay, you're speaking.
We can probably go with,
Right.
you know, accepting it as is.
I'm going through papers here. Anyway, so we're, okay,
Make a motion.
making a motion to accept as it been presented, 2397 northeast corner of Bath and Lemon Street. You don't have an address yet? No. Oh, okay, but it will be Lemon Street. Yeah, okay. New single-family dwelling with all the consistencies and conditions and the variances that have been presented?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, can we have a vote?
Ms. Kaplan?
Yes.
Ms. Hallett?
Yes.
Mr. Sprecher?
Yes. Thank you very much. It's gonna
Enjoy
look
your new
good.
home.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Okay. When we get conditions like this, I like going through each condition
I
sometimes.
know, I wish I had.
Okay. Okay, last one,
Okay.
okay, is, 2305, 3 bill.
Oh, the downtown one, okay.
Okay, this is 23-114. This is on 451 East Tarpon Boulevard. This is about a small addition.
Tarpon Avenue,
Yep, Tarpon Avenue. Did I say Tarpon Avenue?
Boulevard.
Okay. Staff?
Hi, so this shows the location and context of the subject property. It's located on the eastern side of the National Historic District. It appears on the 1919 sandboard, and an interesting thing about this house is that it has a sister house right next door that was made with the same plans. This is the photograph from the Florida Master Site File. The applicant is seeking a certificate of approval to construct an addition on the northwest quadrant of the contributing structure. During the investigation of this application, unpermitted window and door replacements. On the previous addition, there is a circa 1950 addition at the northeast quadrant of the structure. So the applicant is also seeking an after-the-fact certificate of approval for the door and window replacements.
Okay. And where are those doors again?
So the doors and windows are on a circa 1950 addition that's at the rear of the house. You can't see them from Tarpon Avenue, but you can see them from the alley behind the house.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So this is just a picture of the facade of the house. Those are, what you're seeing here are those doors and windows on that addition. Just
Now,
another-
the addition is a smaller one-story.
The proposed addition is a much smaller,
No, I mean, the addition where, the one from 1950s, that's a smaller one-story.
yes.
Okay.
This is a picture I got off of Realtor. You can kind of see the area that's showing the area where the proposed addition is located. See right there, those two windows are being proposed for removal, as well as that window on the addition. And this is a site plan, just kind of showing you where the proposed addition is, that square that has an X over it there. Just kind of give you a view of what it would look like over the house. This is the floor plan for the proposed action. So those two windows on the historic structure of the house, one is being proposed to be filled in, and one is being proposed to be cut down to make way for a new door opening. And this shows that proposed new door opening and the elevation. So pretty much all of our standards of review apply to this application. With respect to the width and the new construction consistency, the new construction would be generally consistent with similar contributing structures in the vicinity. The windows and doors and entries, so the project is proposing to remove two window openings from the original historic structure and turn one of those windows into a door and the other one be filled in. The neighborhood district and context, like I said, it's generally consistent with the rest of the neighborhood. It's not going to be an unusual, large size or massing that's very different from something else within the neighborhood. With respect to the roof shape and texture, generally for additions, the design review guideline manual proposes that you use roof shapes similar to those found historically in the district. So the subject property has a pretty intricate roof plan, and this is proposing a flat roof for the addition. The Heritage Preservation Board should determine if they approve the addition, whether or not they feel that the flat roof is appropriate. With respect to architectural features, the proposed action would require the destruction of historic masonry original to the home. And this is the siding on the proposed addition on the plans is proposed as brick veneer. However, the applicant has stated that they perhaps would like to look at utilizing hardy plank siding. With respect to that, the design review guideline manual tells us that for additions, siding material should be similar in nature to that of the historic home. We want it to be clearly differentiated, not trying to pretend that it's older than it is, but just something harmonious with the original architecture. And this one's a little, with respect to adherence to the Secretariat's guideline, I would say that this project does not closely align with the intent of the standards because that original masonry is going to be destroyed and the fenestration of the historic building is going to be altered. However, that is for the Heritage Preservation Board to determine if that's significantly adverse. The proposed addition would be in conformance with other city code requirements. Just going through some of the pages from the manual that are relevant. So staff would recommend denial of the project as proposed. However, I would like to point out that staff would recommend approval of the certificate of approval after the fact for the unpermitted doors and windows on the addition, because the addition is circa 1950, and it's not on the original home. They're generally pretty simple in design, and they pretty much conform to the architecture of that addition from 1950. If they were on the original home, I don't think that would be appropriate, but staff would recommend approval of the after-the-fact certificate of approval. And with that, I can answer any questions.
Okay, now, first off, you guys got a question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought the project's been done.
No.
No. The one in 50 has.
So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
let me clarify that. Let me show you.
Yeah.
So see where that's sticking out a little bit there in the back?
Okay,
That's the circa 1950 addition. The proposed addition would be just south of that, where you see those two windows there.
Yes, essentially between the two.
Yes.
Okay.
And it would be subordinate to the primary structure, so it wouldn't be sticking out. You wouldn't see it from Tarpon Avenue.
Now, the roof, is that a flat roof right now? Or is that a,
flat roof.
The addition, the 1950 addition has a flat roof.
the 1950 has a flat roof? How about on the, huh? Okay, it's a shed.
You
type
do
roof.
have to wait until you come up and talk, so we can have you on the record. Thank you, sir.
We'll be questioning you too. Okay.
And so this shows what the proposed roof of the proposed addition would look
Okay.
like.
Now, who did that? Who drew that one?
It's from the applicant's.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, any more questions?
I do have a couple more. Are you requesting that they make two separate motions, one for the previous reconstruction and then one for this one, or do you want it all in one?
I would request that they would make
Request
two
two?
separate
Okay.
motions.
So when you go through this, you'll have two separate motions to consider. One will be for the approval of the after the fact with the doors and windows from the 1950 edition, and then the second one will be as to the proposed construction. With respect to the staff recommendation of denial, is there anything in terms of material or style that would change staff's recommendation?
The recommendation for denial is primarily based upon the destruction of historic materials and alterations to the fenestration of the historic structure. So,
And when you're talking about the fenestration, are you talking about the roof pitch?
the windows.
Specifically the windows?
Specifically,
The
so
windows.
where there have historically been windows, there will now be one blocked in and a door. So that's a change to the structure, and it's destruction of historic material.
If they were to use the material and just push it out, essentially, like as they were taking it down, taking it off, and using that in the reconstruction, would that make any difference or not at all?
That might be a mitigating factor, sure. I do think that, like I said, the applicant has stated that they would be interested in using hardy plank. I do think that a brick veneer that is clearly distinguishable from the original brick would probably be a more appropriate choice because it would be taking its design cues from the original historic structure.
Okay, and you're offering the city's file in this matter for evidence in the board's consideration, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Any more questions? Good. Thank you very much. Okay, applicant? Like to come up?
Good evening. My name is Lori Rinaldi. This is my husband, Scott. We purchased this house with the intent to use it as a residence. It's going to remain a residence. As I'm sure you're well aware, houses built in this era, this one was built in 1916. were built to different conformity, and the particular addition that we're attempting to build is to provide us with a closet in the master bedroom, which currently has none. So there's a couple of statements I might like to clarify for you. The exterior facade can be brick. We've just had a difficult time finding brick consistent with what is there. After reading the guidelines, it appeared that something contrasting would be more preferable, and that's why we were leaning in that direction. So we can certainly return to a brick facade. Secondly, the windows that are there are some very poor quality vinyl windows. They're not historic, and at that point, we didn't feel like they lent anything to the exterior of the property. We are not actually destroying any existing brick. We're just closing in that opening in the U-shaped portion, which, as stated, will not protrude beyond the existing west wall of the property. So we didn't feel it was a detriment to remove essentially modern windows.
Okay. And do we have any questions? Just as a comment, you know, you're gonna have the interior walls to the exterior walls you have right now. Once you push that wall out, all that brick is gonna be available.
We weren't planning to take the brick down. It's our goal to, even in the interior of the house, to utilize a lot of the existing brick inside and expose it. So we weren't planning to take the brick walls down.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have a lot of concerns with the structure. We would like it to last another 100+ years. And so a lot of the steps that we're attempting to take are for preservation, and by disrupting the existing brick, we feel that it could compromise the structure. The flat roof was designed by the engineer to provide the best aesthetic, because there's 3 roofs converging in that area. So other than aesthetics, there wasn't any other reason for the flat roof.
That's a good reason right there.
Yeah, I think it would be more consistent, because the 2 roofs that it is butting up to are also flat, and there is a pitch slope coming down to meet it on one edge. So it would involve putting another pitch on the roof that doesn't go with anything.
Understand.
The house next door, the sister house next door, has a similar addition, and you can get an idea of what it looked like, and I think it's most appropriate.
Any more questions? Staff, do you have anything?
Just that, although the windows are not historic, having window openings there is original to the structure. And I'm confused as how they are not destroying any material when they're taking a window down to floor level to create a door.
We are going to be demoing those windows, because at that point, they will be inside the building. But we're not planning to demo the brick walls that will remain inside. So we're basically adding 2 brick walls and keeping 2 brick walls.
I need to swear in. So I just wanted to say.
Please raise your right hand.
Sure.
Do you swear to tell the truth on the matters here before the City of Tarpon Springs Heritage Preservation
I do.
Board this
And I'm
evening?
Scott Weaver, 451 Tarpon Avenue.
Thank
So
you.
just wanted to make sure that you guys understand that the door that we're proposing, we're seeking a permit for a pool, and that door will lead out to the pool. So that's why we're asking that, it's coming out of the kitchen. There's a kitchen just behind that window now. And that door will take us straight out to where we're proposing to put a pool. So,
There is a front door and a rear door at this house, and there's no exits in between. It is a big house. And so it not only is it a long way, but it's almost an unsafe feature, as there's no good exit from the bedroom, the master bedroom, out of this home. It should a fire, block exit, so.
and this addition actually just removes a void. It's really, the house is a big gap between when they added that 1950 addition versus the older home. We have a big
the gap there.
empty void, useless void
Yeah.
that we're trying to utilize for a cause.
Understand.
That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Okay.
I have another photograph. I don't know if it'll be helpful. Would you like me to present it, or?
No.
Okay.
We will have to keep the materials that you submit. Okay.
Anything help us with that? Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I may say one more thing. The side that this addition will be added to, there's a business next door to us. It's not a home, it's a business. So it wouldn't be seen by anybody but visiting that business.
I understand. Yes. See this? They're proposing to come straight out.
Okay.
Okay. And then it looks like,
The second picture is just an example of a contrasting material with brick that we were considering. It's not the house itself.
yeah,
It's changing, I know.
yeah. No, that's,
So you're kind of just
yeah, right from there.
filling that,
Filling this in.
yeah. And kitchen roof,
That'll be a flat roof. So it did.
that'll be nice.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you very much.
thank you for your time.
Okay, we gotta talk next. Let's see, any public comments? Okay.
Do I have to state my name and stuff again, or is it fine?
Yes, please.
All right, so my name is Frankie Gilchrist III. I live at 401 North Walton Avenue. And I just like to say that I think this is a really nice addition to the home, whatchamacallit. They're not destroying any brick as they explained. They're just removing those windows. And especially if the windows weren't historical, then I don't really see any issue. I think it's kind of unfortunate that the staff got that incorrect. Everyone's human. And I looking at the property, it's a beautiful home. I think that they obviously care for it a bunch, and that's where they live and stuff. So I think it's kind of crazy not having a closet in your in your master bedroom. It's kind of a design flaw. So I think all this looks good, looks great, and I just want to voice my support for their renovation and stuff. I think everything's awesome.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, any more?
Can
Nope.
staff be recognized?
Huh?
Could staff be recognized?
Oh, sure.
Throughout the staff report, I did not note that the windows were historic. The only historic material that is going to be destroyed is the brick, which again, they are proposing to take that window opening down to a door. So
Understood.
that means the brick between the current window opening and the floor will be removed. Just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see where we're at. Comments? Do we have a motion? Do we want to go through step by step?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Okay, right now, looks like one is the siding, Okay, that's
Where's the list?
this, oh,
Okay, never mind.
Don't forget on this one, it's going to be two separate motions, one regarding the previous approval of the previous edition, if you want to approve that, and then the second one will be as to the addition.
I understand, but we may be putting our own conditions on this. Right now, we're working on the first one, okay, and not the door and window for the 50s
Right.
section. Okay, for the first one, you know, one of the things that I think is two main sticking points. One is the material of the addition, okay? And on that side of the house, I think it'd probably be best to stay with the brick,
Right.
okay? It would throw too much attention on it if it was just if you put in the hardy board. You know, it's like sticking out of the sore thumb,
Right.
see what I'm saying?
So it would have to be the siding materials would have to be.
Would have to be masonry, brick,
Right,
okay?
okay.
Number two, the questions about the windows. I think this makes that whole side a lot more, one, functional, looks more symmetric, more like a house should be. You know, right now you have that indentation and it just accentuates the difference between the house and the addition that they put up in the 50s.
Right.
You know, with that blank area there. This will soften that,
That was
you know, see what I'm saying?
a, yep, mhm.
So can we put if we approve it, can we, because you have to give it, I can't do that, right?
We have to, yeah.
Can I make
No, the chair typically doesn't make the motion. Usually it's one of the board members. So are you looking to have them add the condition for
Yes,
it to
I am.
be
Now,
approved brick
we only
facing
have-
rather than the hardy board?
Huh?
Is what you're looking to put the condition to be for the brick facing rather than the hardy board? Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, you could do that.
okay, yes, you can do that?
She can,
You do
yes.
Okay, okay, we'll recommend approval with the first condition,
Right,
that the exterior material, the siding would be masonry, matching the brick, existing brick, rather than hardy board or anything like that,
okay.
okay?
No, do you need second? You made
No,
the
no,
motion?
we got a little bit more to go.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now, if we go with approval on that, that approves everything else that they're doing, as far as the door. I don't see a problem with that, because before, the whole thing was recessed, and it wasn't that prominent anyhow. Okay, and then, second one was for retro approval of the window and door in the 50s edition.
Oh,
Okay. So if we have an proof, we'll make for the addition, approval will be on the condition that, the exterior material be brick. Okay. And, let's see, there was one other thing here. Okay, and, the approval would also be for the 1950s edition with the retro approval for the, door and the window.
door and window.
So that catches both of them. There'd be another condition, which is always there, is the 3 years to build it to get a building permit.
Right,
Have that within 3 years,
3 years? Yep.
okay?
No, but that's okay, I'll try.
Oh, Can I do this one?
Would you like me to
Can you
read
do-
what I have?
Can he do it? And I'll just, since there's only 3 of us.
So
There's
are
only
you
3 of us.
are you looking to make a motion to approve application 23-114 with staff approval of external masonry materials for matching as closely possible matching brick,
Right.
right? And
Right.
retroactive approval of the windows and doors of the 1950s edition.
Right.
And then that the approval is only valid for 3 years until
That's
they
it.
get the building permit. Is that the motion?
That's the motion.
And you so move?
That's my motion.
A second.
Okay. Okay?
Good.
Okay. Okay, can I have a,
Ms. Kaplan?
Yes.
Ms. Hallett?
Yes.
Mr. Sprecher?
yes. Thank you very much. Okay,
Enjoy your brick house.
okay. Thank you, guys. You know? Appreciate it.
That's not too
Oh,
bad.
hold it. We still gotta shut down. Hold on one second.
Right.
I almost did this again. Okay, staff comments?
Just real quickly, at our next meeting, we are going to be having some sort of presentation, so just
A
be
what
prepared. A presentation. I think Patricia McNeese from my office is going to come and present the adaptation and resiliency study that we had done earlier this year that's coming to a close, so.
Okay, now, is this a study for incorporating with Greektown or no?
It's not related to the new Greektown study. We did a study on adaptation and resiliency for the historic district and Greektown. And
Okay,
we had
yeah, I
previously
remember
brought
that
it to
one.
you before when we started it, and we wanted to come bring it to you now that it's completed.
That sounds good. Okay. I remember that one.
And then in addition, we are going to be kicking off a resurvey of our historic district. We received a grant from the Department of State, so we will be doing that shortly too. Just wanted to keep
Will we
that on
have
your
input-
radar.
Will the board have input on that?
I mean, it'll be presented to you for sure,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I got a lot of things going on,
A lot of things going on, for sure.
things going on.
Okay. Board, you guys got any comments? Want to thank you
I
guys.
just have a little.
Okay.
The house that is on, Spring Boulevard, across from Craig Park, that is half torn down. And is he waiting to have it, so that the city has to, you know, say it's demolished, you know, it has
Demolished
to
by
be
neglect?
demolished?
Demolished by neglect?
I know, but it's a historical house. He went and he tore it apart before he got a variance. And then it's just sitting there, and it's the biggest eyesore. And
I don't know.
it-
I don't know if we'd have any say, would we have a say in that? You know what
How
one
long
we're
has
talking
it
about,
been?
right?
I think I know the house you're talking about, and didn't they
On the
come?
corner of Pineapple, I
And
think it's
South Spring.
Pineapple and South Spring.
Is that,
It's the
As a Spanish style.
Spanish one that was approved.
yes, they came through for certificate of approval to renovate that. So they just obviously haven't gotten their building permits yet,
Yeah, I haven't got the building permits yet.
so.
Okay. Okay. But they've got 3 years to do that, right?
Yes.
Okay. They got 3 years.
3 years.
Yep. Okay.
And then what? Then nothing gets done again?
I don't know.
I mean, it could become a code enforcement issue at some point.
We've had other historical houses that they just keep on waiting and waiting, and then the
Well-
city comes and says, you know, has to be, it's hazardous, so it has to be demolished now.
Well, he's got a 3 years. After 3 years, then we'll come to this, we'll bring this up again. See what we can do.
You know, put up some monstrosity.
Okay. Okay. Okay,
Oh,
anything
well.
else? Okay. Time is now
Wow,
7:39.
not bad.
Not bad. I thought it'd be a lot longer. I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.